Hello and welcome to my dungeon. Wanna say hi? It's very chatty today because I'm gonna tell you a story of how I abandoned him. I didn't. I was gone for like maybe 6 hours and he was all alone. I know. But anyway, I'm going to tell you the story. Not about abandoning my cat, but I went on an adventure and it was fun. But it awoken something inside of me that I kind of forgot about. You see, listen, I've lived in LA for almost 11 years now. Whew, long time. And the thing is, I had a thought occur to me the other day where I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw somebody post something about their backyard and my first thought was, wow, they have a backyard? That's so cool. The thought of touching grass was cool to me, and that's when I realized maybe I should go outside. Maybe I should get some sunlight, maybe I should get some fresh air. And that's exactly what I did. It wasn't really like a hike, it was more of like a trail nature walk, and it was nice. My mom came out to visit and I was trying to plan all this stuff for her, and I was like, we can go shopping, we can go to the beach, we can go hiking, but maybe not like a hard hike, we can go like a nature walk. And that's when it dawned on me, there's a nature walk trail hike thing that I like to do, and I was like, yeah, let's go there. So I had all this stuff, planned. So the last time I was there, it was to shoot a cosplay that I ended up not really liking all too much because I had body dysmorphia, whatever. But the thing is like I got there like late, so the sun was kind of already setting, and so it was kind of hard to know where to go, and my directional sense is already bad to begin with. But I didn't really go that far in on the trail. I got there and I walked a little bit and then took some photos and then left, right? It wasn't like a big huzzah moment, right? It was just like a cheese. The last time before that, I did another cosplay. It was kind of similar. It wasn't exactly cosplay. It was on YouTube, and I dressed up as Link and I ran around pretending to hold a pot, and I had the Master Sword and I was chopping at grass and stuff. I think that was in 2016, which is quite a while ago now. 8 years. Ooh. COVID took 4 years from us, all right? We're all a little confused about time. You may not be. I am. And then before that, I would go in like 2014, so it was like a little bit more frequent back then. But overall, the last time I was there in like the depths of like the enrichment area, the last time I like really went on this trail, was like 2014. So 10 years. It's kind of been a while. So when I told my mom about this enrichment trail, and she was like, that sounds so fun, let's do it. And I was like, okay. And so we get there and there's 2 parking lots, and she's like, do we park at parking lot A or parking lot B? And I was like, a parking lot B, I think. Like I usually park at parking lot A, and then I have to walk a bit, and then it's like, ugh, because when you're coming back, you want to be right to the car. You don't have to be like, oh, here's the parking, oh, wrong one. And you have to keep going because you're tired and dirty. We're driving to parking lot B and then decided just to keep going. And turns out, I've been going to this place for so long, they have campsites. I didn't know they had campsites. I love camping. Well, the idea of it. I'm a little scared to go pee in the middle of the night, but I bear the man, the bear. Anyway, sorry. And I have a tent in the back of my car just in case. You never know. I could totally go camping. Has that tent been opened in the last 10 years? So we're looping around, we're like, this is so cool, there's a camping area, oh, we should go camping, blah, 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 blah. And then we loop around and we go to parking lot B, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this doesn't look normal, but yeah, I think we should go through there. I start second guessing myself, and if you know me, if I second guess myself, then I'm gonna just think I'm wrong for the entire time, right? But like, I had a feeling, but I was like, I'm wrong, I was right. We're walking through, and I'm like, oh, is everybody good? And everyone's like, yeah, we're good. I'm like, great. So we're walking, and then we're like, oh, wow, it's so pretty. I'm like, yeah, it's just like a nature walk. Like, you may get a little uphill in some areas, but for the most part, it's like a nature walk. So we're walking, and there's people, and then there's kids screaming, and I'm like, I kind of wanted to have a nice, relaxing nature walk, listen to the birds, listen to the leaves rustling, and instead I have to hear, yeah! I don't know what it is about parents nowadays. Like, it's my generation. Shush your kid. I know you're in a park. Shush your kid. Hush. I'm gonna be the grumpy old neighbor. Oh, why these kids outside playing when you could be on your iPad? We're outside, the sun is beaming through the leaves and the trees, and it's just the air and everything is so fresh, and you can hear the water in the creek just drizzling. Is drizzling a word? So you can see there's the creek and it's sparkly, and there's just green, I know, surprising, green as far as you could see. There's like rocks everywhere, and it's just quiet, and the air smells good for once, and you're like, wow, this is really relaxing. And then there's like a little opening part, and you go this way or this way, and I was like, uh-oh, because I second guessed myself, right? And from the beginning, I second guessed myself, and so I was standing there, and I was like, where do we go? And I was like, well, it's been a while since I've been here, but we'll go that way. But then I was like, but what if we need to go that way? And I was like, So I just picked one. I was right, kind of. Anyway, so we're walking one way, and everybody's having a good time, and you know, the sun is warm and everything's great. And then we come across the opening of the trees, and I was like, oh, let's take pictures. So I was taking pictures of my mom and stuff, and like, oh, memories and pictures and memories, and oh. And then there's like another opening, and I was like, oh, I can hear the creek. I want to go walk over there. And so I walked over, and I'm like, wow, this is a really cool tree. So I'm like feeling the tree bark, and I'm like, you know, oh, so fresh, smells so nice. And then all of a sudden, I just feel like an itching in my soul. I know, itching, scary. No, but like, listen, a deep internal feeling in my soul. It was something that had awoken that I haven't felt in a long time. You see, I grew up in the country. I grew up climbing trees, and I made houses out of like little sticks and leaves and mud, okay? I was an outside child. Okay? If you found a frog, I'd pick it up instantly, no questions asked. If you found a bug, I'd pick it up. Remember cicadas, when they peel their skin? I would play with those. I put them in my Barbie house. I was touching the tree, right? And I was like, wow, this bark feels really cool. And then I kind of look at it and I'm like, I can totally climb this tree. And I slide my phone into my pocket. And then it's like something took over me, like the Ooga Booga genes. Like if you're in my stream, I did a DNA test and there was like 17% Neanderthal DNA. I don't want to hear, okay? I've kind of known. My dad used to talk about, because he had like a brow bone and he'd always talk about, he'd do the face and so I've been known, okay? Which also explains my poor directional sense. Anyways, so the moment I put my hands up on the tree and I put my left foot up, I was like, ooh, 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 and I just started I climbed the tree, and I got to the top of the, well, it wasn't like a top of the tree, it was like, it was kind of bent, and so it wasn't that bad, right? And so I get to the top and I hear my mom government name call me, and I forgot that she was there, and I forgot that she was watching, and I forgot that she's my mom, and listen, there's a whole lot of things, but I'm standing there and she goes, Caitlin, and I was like, I'm 31, and so I'm like, okay. So I sit down on the tree. It's a big tree, you know. I felt safe. So I sit down on the tree and I'm looking at her and I'm like, okay, just take my picture, please. And she took my picture and I was like, yay, I'm gonna put this on Instagram. I don't know if I put it on Instagram yet. I probably will. Eventually, maybe one day. I just kind of forget about Instagram. Anyway, sorry. I was sitting on the tree and then I was like, oh, I gotta get down. So I look down, and from the ground and from where I am, it's like maybe 6 feet. And so I'm looking at it, and my mom's looking at me, looking at the ground, thinking I can make this jump. And I hear, Caitlin! And I go, she goes, no, don't do that. She could see the gears turning in my head. And I was like, me jump good. I land feet. Ooh, I could do it. But she was right. And so I like, okay. So I kind of started shimmying down to the other side of the tree, where I had hoisted my arms, like, you know, back and whatever. It was like dropping my legs to the ground, and she was just standing there. I could feel like, you know, she was anxious, and I was like, I got it. I did have it. I got down perfectly fine, and I was like, that was so fun. And I walked over and she's like, oh, I can't believe you do that. I was like, So then we continue on with our hike thing, our trail walk, and we're walking, and some guy passes us like, hey, look out for those rattlesnakes. All right, I've already seen 3 this week. For one, honestly, I did not think there would be rattlesnakes in Southern California. I thought that was a Texas thing. So we're just walking, and I was like, okay, wait, this doesn't look familiar, but up ahead, there's porta potties, and I remember the porta potties, but it's weird because usually I came in from this angle. So the good news is the direction I took got us there. The bad news is I was wrong, and usually I go a different way. I should have gone this way, not this way, but it was fine. You know, we got there in the end. We got there. And then just the sound of water, like there's so much water, and I was like, oh, I want to go look. And then we're walking, and then I see it. Okay, when it rains, it's a waterfall. At this point, it was a pond. And so I was like, look, guys, we made it. It's a pond. I don't think my mom was all that impressed because she goes outside quite frequently. I obviously do not. You can tell by my skin tone. So we get there and like there's the watering hole. Why do I sound like a zebra when I'm saying that? It's a watering hole. Everybody drink up. Don't drink up. Don't drink the pond water. Don't drink the pond water. Anyway, so she walks over and she goes, oh, did you see the tadpoles? And I go, where? Because like I said, I like frogs. And she's like, oh, well, it's really sad because they're in a little puddle of water and they're not gonna make it. And she looked at me. She looked at me because she knew the Ooga Booga in me wanted to go save the tadpoles. And she knew I would go out and I'd scoop out each one and go put it in. But I was like, I can't. They say to let nature take its course. I cannot. I want to, but I can't, you know? You have to let nature do nature things, and it just... So I didn't go looking for the tadpoles. Eventually I did end up accidentally finding them. But I also found some other things. I found myself. No, I'm kidding. It's just, listen, so going outside and going to like a warm, cool, I mean warm because of the sun and cool because of the breeze, okay? I'm trying to make this make sense and it's not working. My ADHD is very bad today. I was just in the perfect climate. I was in the perfect place to exist because I hear this water, this rush of water, and I was like, I want to go find where this is. And so I was like, do y'all want to come over here and follow the water sounds? And everyone was like, no, you go ahead. So I am walking over there, you know, I'm back to normal. I'm not feeling the ooh anymore. Like I'm good. And so I walk over and there's all these massive rocks, right? And I can hear that the water's on the other side of the rocks. And so I was like, okay, I'll just, you know, step. And on the fourth step, I was like, and I just start like jumping across the. See, now when I'm explaining it, it sounds goofy. Like, but at the moment, I was like, you know, part of nature. Like, I was going for it, and I was hopping across, and I get to the creek, and it was beautiful. It was like big rushing water, not like crazy. Listen, I know some of y'all live in like South Dakota or something, and you can experience the world in South Dakota. Okay, I'm in Los Angeles. Let me have what I can have. Okay, so I get there, and I'm like, this is so pretty. I sat down on the rock, I had my legs just out like this. I could be here all day. And so I'm sitting there, just the sound of the creek and then just like the fresh water, and I touched it and it was cold. Don't drink it though. Don't drink it. Don't drink it. Don't drink it. And then there's like the big tree next to me and it's like roots were coming out of the water, and I'm like, this is so nice. This is so cool. And it's just relaxing. Like, that's the thing. I don't feel relaxed ever. Cannot tell you the last time. Well, now I can because it was then, but before that I cannot tell you the last time I felt relaxed. And so I was just like, this is incredible. So I got my belongings and I was like, okay, time to go back. And so I'm going back over the rocks, you know, just being like, so I get to the other side and they're like, oh, how was it? And I was like, oh, it was so cool. There was a creek and there was trees and there was this and that. And they're like, oh, did you see the ducks? And I go, where? So we walk over to this one spot and sure enough, there's 3 ducks. They're just sitting on rocks. And I was like, oh, to be a duck, you know, like I want to be a duck. I want to sit on a rock in a creek and not do anything all day except for maybe eat. What in the world? What is this? So we're looking at the ducks and it's all cute and dandy, and then to the left there's another duck with like 6 baby ducks and they're all going and it was so cute and I wanted to get closer, and so I did. And I just like went across the rocks and I was filming it, and then they just didn't care. They did not care that I was there. I don't know if it was because they're used to humans or because I am also a freak of nature and I was like I blended in. But anyway, so I was just filming it, having a great time. So then I go back and everyone wanted to leave and I was like, but I just got started. Okay, I finally feel relaxed for once in my life. What do you mean we gotta go? What do you mean we gotta hit 5 o'clock traffic in LA? And then we walked back. And anyway, I mean, it was fine. It was great. It was a little weird though, because like I remember distinctly going one way, but then going that, I don't know. I think I may go back. Maybe going by myself wouldn't be the smartest decision. Maybe I'll have a friend go with me who will put up with my behavior, and they will let me live out my SpongeGar genes, I guess, and then we'll just hike around the whole thing because I'm interested. I want to see which way I'm used to taking versus the way I took recently, because it was kind of similar, but it wasn't the same, you know? I love outside. Oh, also you could see fish in the creek. That was cool. You could see, like, they were like huge too. I asked them what kind of fish there were and they didn't know, which was kind of upsetting. And I was like, well, I guess I gotta go down there and get it. Hey, hey, just be like, fish, you know? I do not get out much. That is my story for you about how I went into the wilderness. Maybe one day I'll actually go camping. Maybe I may need to invest in another tent because the one I've had for 10 years has been in the back of my car for 10 years and has not been touched in 10 years. I'm pretty sure it's still back there. I can't guarantee it, but I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I've been yapping for too long. Thank you for watching. Do you have any fun outside story? Do you have something awaken in you when you go outside? Are you a normal person? Must be nice. Don't know what that's like. But anyways, I'll see you guys another time. Hope you have a fantastic day and safe travels. Goodbye!